Here's the basic presupposition of our time together here. A master communicator you already are. I really do believe that. But to achieve your dreams, to achieve your dreams, reach your potential, then you must own the fact that voice is the key to your becoming who you were meant to be. Today we're going to discover our voice. And as we discover our voice, we will discover the power in that voice. Who you were meant to be. Emerson, I think, put it well. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. For you see, when we own our voice, we own our power. Voice is power. Own your voice. That's what a master communicator is. That's purpose-driven communication. Take ownership of your power. We hear so very often that the number one fear worldwide is the fear of public speaking. 40 to 60% of the population on any given day just live in dread of public speaking, some even ranking it higher than death. Well, not me. I'll make a speech any day and fall on my face rather than have the cold, dark hands and the bony hands of death come to take me away. I will take my chances. So, here is what I think would be the number one and number two fears. Number one is a fear that sometimes stays with us forever. It is the fear of abandonment. Now, the reason I say that is because I see it up close and personal with the 20 locations and the Guatemala orphanage operated by the Baptist Children's Homes. These children have been on the train of tyranny and the train of trauma for all their lives, most of them sexually abused and abandoned. I got an email just this morning. Our orphanage in Guatemala, they just had a little baby come into care there this morning. 8 hours old, abandoned to die in a shoebox at the local garbage dump. Abandoned. A lot of times people never get over that. They don't want to be abandoned. We don't want to be abandoned. The other fear is the fear of becoming and discovering our own greatness. The fear of our own greatness. And so at the end of this time today, I want that fear to be gone forever. I want that F-E-A-R to be false evidence appearing real. And what we got to do is to claim our own sovereignty and live in the power of that truth. Discover the power of your voice so that you can release the voice of your own power. Now I want you to think again. I want you to think of somebody in your life, in your experience, that you would say, here is a master communicator. They believed in me at just the right time. Pastor, rabbi, teacher, mother, daddy, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, child, grandchild, principal, teacher, whatever. Who was that person? What did they do to inspire you? What did they do to say, there really are no limits except those that you impose upon yourself? Who was that person and what did they say to you? Think beyond any self-imposed limitations that you've put on yourself. Don't try just do. Now, if our voice is our power and is the way that people form an impression of us, oftentimes within 3 to 10 seconds of time, then it's incumbent upon us to take advantage of this sacred instrument. You and I well know you don't have a second chance to make a first impression. So if you're going to speak or teach or prepare or sell or have any kind of meeting, it doesn't really matter, one-on-one or whatever, you think about it. You prepare and you practice. And you practice and you prepare. Anytime you are thinking about doing anything that's involving interaction, it's done verbally, and it is also done non-verbally, and if possible, try to do it in front of a mirror. I mentioned a little earlier that everybody in here communicates, but very few connect. So when we have a breakdown in communication, we have a breakdown in connection. So that means that we need to listen. We need to listen in order to connect, and we need to listen in order to understand. Listen to connect, listen to understand. There are 4 really powerful cornerstones or foundations that if we want our speech, our voice, to be powerful and to make a change, at least in our little corner of the world, the real estate that we have, and maybe even globally, then there's some things that we can follow here. Conveniently, they spell hail, H-A-I-L. That word in and of itself means to greet or acclaim enthusiastically, to cheer, to salute. Hail Caesar. Now that didn't turn out too well for him, but et tu, Brute, you remember that one. Hail, H, probably can guess what H means. Honesty. Be clear and be straight in what you say. Be free of deceit. Be free of fraud. Honesty. A, authenticity or authentic. Be yourself. Now, that's 2 words. Not one word, yourself. It's 2 words. Be yourself. Yes, be your best self, but be yourself. And when you are speaking, teaching, communicating authentically, you communicate what it is that your passion is. And I hope that now you know what your passion is and that you can communicate it passionately. And if you don't know what your passion is, then answer a couple of questions. What is it that makes my heart sing? What is it that makes my spirit soar? And if that's too esoteric, just what do I really enjoy doing? Be authentic. Stand in your own truth. I, integrity. I, integrity. Be your word. Be your word. Doing what you say. And coming back to a word that we've heard already several times today, be somebody that others can trust. That is in such a low commodity these days that if anybody says to you, you know, I really trust you, That may very well be the highest compliment that you can have today. Honest, authentic, your real self, not false, not phony, integrity, moral, ethical integrity, no ambiguity. What you see is what you get, and then some. Because we've only begun to tap the potential that we have. I'm coming up 3 months shy of 74, and I just still seize every day. I look forward to every day, new opportunities every day to communicate, to make a difference, to share hope and change lives with 21,320 people of the Baptist Children's Homes, Baptist Special Ministries, Baptist Special Education, and Baptist Orphanage in Guatemala. Think about that. That's my passion. That's my sweet spot. That's my integrity. And then love is the L word here. I'm not talking about romantic love, but I'm talking about wishing people well. Just wishing people well. Now, one of my mentors, and I have had several over the years, a man named Ty Boyd. Ty hired me to work for a radio station my freshman year in Chapel Hill, then immediately went to work for WBT in Charlotte. And then after that, he started his own global public speaking, and then finally wound up leading the Excellence in Speaking Institute. Ty Boyd, over and over again, first of all, talked about big gestures because you're trying to communicate a big truth. But he would also say a master communicator needs to have vocal variety. I mean, he was performing when he talked about it. Vocal variety. Sometimes you speak with great fervor and great loudness. And sometimes you hardly speak above a whisper. Vocal variety. And don't lapse into talking a monotone that goes on and you have run-on sentences that go on for 30 seconds or 5 minutes. Or have up talk and at the end of everything sounds like you're asking a question. Just settle in and maintain eye contact. I've had eye contact with you several times today. Have you seen that? Have you felt that? You check it out here. If you have eye contact, and this is such an essential ingredient here, and then you kind of go over here, and I have contacted with you several times today, and you have eye contact here, it probably means I'm going to be having some eye contact and be heard by somebody else. Now, I got to come back and check on you and see if everything's okay. Make sure, Tar Heel's doing okay with 150 people. Eye contact is essential. That's really how you can communicate with somebody. If you have eye contact, it's like flint striking steel, and there's fire. I've seen lovers, people dating, that just sit there, and they just look at each other, and they don't say a word. But sometimes the most powerful words that we can say are the words that we say in silence. There are some very powerful non-verbal ways that we communicate. For instance, how you enter a room. Are you slouched over, head down? You don't want anybody to see you. You don't want to see anybody. And you can't wait to get out of that room because you really hate that room and you ain't really fond of the people in that room and you just want to leave. Or when you finally do sit down, you cross your arms, head still down. You don't want to look up. That communicates. Tell me what that communicates. Disinterest. That's the main thing. how much attention are you going to get paid with that kind of nonverbal communication? Now, I had a professor in graduate school one time, and he made a point of calling on the person that was sitting like this. Mr. Blackwell? Yes, Dr. Bland. Would you please explain the existential manifestation of the parousia? No, Dr. Bland, I don't believe I can do that today. Well, that body language says, leave me alone. I don't want to be here. I'll leave as soon as I can. Now remember, again, that people form an impression in as little as 3 seconds. 3 to 10 seconds, they've got an impression formed. Now, you may say, oh, I just wish that I had charisma. Here are 2 hints about charisma. Stand up straight and smile. All right? Stand up straight and smile. Hey, you've got charisma. The other is presence. P-R-E-S-E-N-C-E. I've talked about that for so very long, and it has come into vogue now. Presence. In fact, Amy Cuddy, who is a social psychologist at Harvard University, has a new book out, and it is called Presence. And one of the definitions that she has about presence is to stop worrying about the impression you're making on other people and start adjusting the impression that you have been making on yourself. So, if you don't feel like a master communicator, act like it. Your chances for success will continue. Your chances of achieving your goal will improve. About 60 or so years ago, I first heard Norman Vincent Peale use the term, fake it till you make it. Now, what Amy Cuddy says, she does away with that. She says you believe it, you act like it, you stand tall, you assume the power pose, you act like you're in charge, and you fake it till you become it. You fake it till you become it. You are your authentic self. Fake it till you become it. And so she says, the power of getting ready for an interview or a speech or a proposal or anything that requires your presence, take a couple of minutes. And for women, and it could be for men too, come here. She says to do this pose. What is that? That is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. And she says, assume the Wonder Woman pose for 2 minutes. How do you feel? Do you feel wonderful? Do you? Seriously. I'm going to ask just the ladies. Ladies, stand for a minute, all right? I mean, the men could do this, but I want you to just see what kind of powerful thing this is going to have. All right? You're Wonder Woman. You're getting ready. You are woman. You are in charge. You stand like it. You act like it. You feel like it. You become it. And if you don't feel like you can become it, you fake it till you become it. We got it? You feel the energy in that? Do you? It does feel good, doesn't it? All right. Thank you, ladies. Don't be the cork in your own bottle. Don't be the cork in your own bottle. Mastery, which is where we all need to head, is never an accident. Keep at it every day with remarkable consistency. Don't make excuses. Every day, in every way, if you need to become friends with boredom. Just do it. Purpose-driven communication. Speaking, teaching, listening, serving, doing, being. You just do it, and you keep on doing it until you can't do without it. Then and only then will you become a purpose-driven leader who can communicate powerfully, a powerful idea, powerfully and repeatedly, so that it becomes the big idea that can indeed change the world. You are a master communicator. Live that truth. Be that truth. I'll be watching you as you leave this place today. Now walk on out with your head held high. You are a master communicator. God bless you. Thank you.